Good evening, Nick. It's Friday, March 20th, and today's video comes to you in 7 parts. Part 1 is anxiety, Nick. So, Nick, speaking of travel, I'm traveling this weekend to go see who is arguably my favorite person right now, and every time I go to see said person, I get really anxious. Like, this week, I've just been, really nervous about going to see said person. Like, there's no real reason for me to be anxious about it, but for some reason, I always am. Nick, as you may or may not know, when I get severely anxious or nervous or freaked about things, I tend to procrastinate. Don't worry, this video will be up by midnight, I can promise you that, but it's definitely later than usual. Part 2. Budgeting is hard. So Nick, I spent like a year budgeting for my fraternity in college, that fraternity that you were once a part of. And it was awful and terrifying, and so I understand your pain when it comes to budgeting. But Nick, you're also an adult with a steady stream of income, and you're a hard worker, and I presume you make at least decent money. So I think that you'll be able to get your budget together so that you'll be able to tour Europe, and I really hope you get the chance to. I think that would be really cool, and I'm slightly jealous, but I really hope you get a chance to go next. That would be cool. Part 3, you made me feel a little better about myself. Nick, I was one of those people that you would occasionally ferry around in your car in college, and so I'm glad that it was something that you enjoyed. Because, sometimes we don't always stop to think about the things that people do for us, and it's like, are they doing it for us because they enjoy it? Are they doing it for us because they feel obligated? Are they doing it because they feel forced? But I'm glad it was something that you enjoyed and that you also benefited from. And so, Nick, I'd like to thank you for all those times that you took us around places. It was really awesome, and it was much appreciated. Part 4. Floor. I also like difficult travel that's not by car. So Nick, while cars are really awesome at utilizing that awesome piece of infrastructure we call roads, they're really not good at using the non-infrastructure we know as not roads. And so while yeah, I really enjoy my car, sometimes there's just places you gotta walk, whether it's through the woods, whether it's just through a field. I really enjoy that kind of travel still. It's nice to be able to go farther and wider in range away from my locale more easily, but at the same time, I just really like doing the old-fashioned thing. I like getting out there and just walking. I feel like that's really important to me. Which transitions well into part 5. I'm a big fan of non-internet traveling. I love nothing more than just getting out there and being places in person. I feel like sometimes I sit around my house too much because I don't have a lot of friends that live around me, and so I don't get out a super lot often. Wow, that sounded really stupid, but I'm gonna keep that one. Um, but even still, it's just I gotta experience things. I think it's great. I want to do more of it. Maybe not necessarily Europe, but at least somewhere. That'd be cool. But Nick, there's also part 6, which is that I like internet travel too. There's so many cool things that I'll see on the internet that I would never ever be able to see in the real world. It's just literally impossible to go so many different places, and so the internet brings me to things that I'll never get to experience. It's brought me ideas that I never would have thought, and it's brought me conversations with strangers that I never would have met. And so I think when used together, they're pretty awesome. Finally, part 7. I got a haircut. That's all. I got nothing else to contribute there. Hope you keep traveling, Nick. I'll see you on Monday.